Hi everyone, welcome back to Vysh IAS. This is Neha Duniwal from Vysh IAS, and we are covering Geography NCERT of class 12. Till now, we have almost completed 7 chapters, and like one part of chapter number 7 is left, which we'll be completing in this section of the lecture, and we'll be completing chapter number 8. So, the 6 chapters which we have done, that was more about factuals and all those things. The 7th chapter which we started, basically this chapter will help you in your study, in your approach towards economic survey of India as well, because those data, those findings you will be finding there. All right. So the part 2 of chapter number 7 and chapter number 8 we'll be starting over here. We'll be covering chapter number 8, and after one more lecture this book will be completed. All right, it almost took us, like, if in total, like, we have divided chapter wise videos, lectures. What you can do is just choose one day and read them all one together. You can do this as well. That will not take more than 7 hours of yours. Okay, this you can do. All right, and in chapter number 7 you already know what we were studying. We have read about the road transport and communication we were studying. We have read about road transport, basically national highway, state highway, other roads. So all those things will be you'll be finding all those things in your what we call it, economic survey India yearbook. So do not miss these basic chapter, because once you read them over here, it will be the economic survey approach will become more easy for you. All right, so beginning with it, without wasting much of your time, Vysh IAS is available on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. You can write us on Gmail as well, and other than that, you can just ping your queries on WhatsApp, and we'll be directly connecting with you. All right. So basically, you were aware of our test PDFs, and one more thing, apart from our test PDFs, our batches have started, and 9-month installment system is also there. So basically, installment system has been kept for you people only, so that it becomes easily affordable for every student out there. Okay, and even they are very much beneficial. So serious aspirant has already enrolled. Now it's your time to enroll as soon as possible. Do not waste your time, because every weekend you will create a baggage for yourself. Okay, just a second. Yeah. Okay, so without creating baggage for yourself, just complete the lectures as soon as possible. All right. We completed road transport earlier in this chapter. We were studying the land, air and water. Air and water, most important is land transport, because you know maximum of the traffic and maximum of the burden is being handled by road transportation. Then moving towards water and air transport. When we talk about water transport, we'll be beginning with the water transport here itself. All right. So you know this thing, many of us know this thing. When we talk about the water transport, basically this is for the heavy transportation. The cost of water transportation is comparatively higher than the other modes of transportation. So keeping that thing in mind, but the cargo system, like both passenger and cargo system is there. So you must be knowing about Navy and all those things. So basically it is more about the heavy burden, heavy traveling kind of thing. Okay, and you can call it as cheapest means of transport, and it is more suitable for carrying heavy and bulky material. Okay, it is fuel efficient, eco-friendly mode of transport. The water transport is basically of two type, that is inland and oceanic waterways. Okay, when we talk about inland waterways, we know this thing, it is chief mode of transport before the advent of railway. Earlier it was the earlier when the railways were not introduced, it was the more cheaper one. Okay, it however faced tough competition from road and transport. Okay, moreover, diversion of river water for irrigation purpose made them non-navigable. Non-navigable means the movement was less in that. Okay, in large parts of their courses, the flow courses are basically their flow. All right, India has 14,500 kilometers of navigable waterways, contributing about 1% of the country's transport. Okay, it comprises rivers, canals, backwaters, creeks, etc. At present, 5685 kilometers of major rivers are navigable by mechanized flat bottom vessels. For the development, maintenance and regulation of national waterways in the country, the Indian Waterway Authority was set up in 1986. The following waterway have been declared as national waterways by the government. Okay, now we'll be studying which all are there. They are like in the next slide. But you should know this thing that this India has 14,500 kilometers of the navigable waterway, basically 1% of the transportation. Okay, and for this, government has declared some of the waterways as the national waterways. Okay, national waterways, which are dignified nationally kind of thing. Okay, and just remember this thing: in 1986, Inland Waterways Authority was set up in 1986. Okay, the following waterways have been declared as the national waterway by the government. Okay. Now coming the next topic, the Inland Waterway Authority has also identified 10 other inland waterways, the which could be upgraded, like they can be upgraded to national waterways. The backwaters Kayal system, you know, the Kayal of Kedal or Kayal, you can call them equally, Kayal or Kedal of Kerala, has special significance in inland waterways. Apart from, they are basically more of tourism purpose. Okay, apart from the Kayal system. Okay, apart from providing cheap means of transport, they are also attracting a large number of tourists in Kerala. Okay, the famous Nehru Trophy, Vallamkalli, you know, must the banana kind of that boat is there. If people from South India must be knowing this. I'm very fond. Just one day in life, I want to see this boat race. Maybe soon I'll see that. Okay, is held in the backwater. Okay, Kerala is like abundance of tourism in India. North Indian like me, I always wish for Kerala and the South India section. Okay, water transport, you got it? This is basically national waterway number 3. Before that, we'll study waterways first, then we'll come to the slide. Okay, national waterway 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, national waterway 1 is from Allahabad to Haldia. Just remember A-H. One starts from A, so Allahabad to Haldia. Okay, just let's read about it. Then SD, 2 is SD, 3 is KK. Just 3 is like symmetry is there, so KK, 3 symmetry is there, no? KK. Okay, remember these. Make your own tricks. Look, see, tricks doesn't work unless you remember the things. Tricks only works when you remember the thing. Yes, this happens. Okay. Let's come to national waterway once again. 1. Allahabad to Haldia, the longest one, 1620 km. It is the most important waterway of India, which is navigable by mechanical boats up to Patna. Okay, by ordinary boats up to Haridwar. It is divided into 3 parts for development purpose, that is Haldia Farakka 560, Farakka to Patna, and then Patna to Allahabad. Okay, Haldia to Farakka, Farakka to Patna, then Patna to Allahabad. Okay, so Haldia, H, Patna, Farakka, Patna, and then Allahabad. Okay, H, F, P, A, HFPA, remember them. Okay, then next is national waterway 2, that is Sadia to Dubri, SD, AH. Okay, Brahmaputra is the navigable by streamers up to Dibrugarh, which is shared by India and Bangladesh. AHSD. Now then this in the southern part, Kottapuram to Kollam. It includes 168 km of west coast canal of with Champakra canal 14 km and Udyog Mandal canal 23 km. Okay, then this is and national waterway 4, specified stretches of Godavari and Krishna river along with Kakinada Puducherry stretches of canal, basically in South India again. Specified stretches of river Brahmani along with Matal river, delta channel of Mahanadi and Brahmani rivers, east coast canal 588 kilometers. Alright, got it? So this is national waterway 3. Waterway 3 is Kottapuram to Kollam. So just see this. This is Arabian Sea, India. Okay. Just stay on this page for a second. Moving ahead. See, now talking about oceanic routes. So we were talking about waterways. So waterways were of two types. One was inland. Inland we already talked about, the national waterway. Now the oceanic one. Oceanic one is basically talking internationally. So we have the vast coastline of this 7517. So 7751 is 6, 7517, and 12 major and 185 minor ports provide infrastructure support for these routes. Oceanic routes play an important role in transport. You know this thing, approximately 95% of the India's foreign trade by volume and 70% by value moves through oceanic routes. Apart from international trades, these are also used for purpose of transportation between islands and rest of the country. Okay. Fine. Now moving towards air transport. Every one of you know about the air transport. You know the ports and all. So fastest, yes, it has reduced the distance. Yes, you know this thing. Kids know this thing. Air transport in India beginning in 1911 when airmail operation commenced over a little distance of 10 km from Allahabad and Naini. Remember this thing. People basically don't remember Allahabad and Naini. Okay, but its real development took place in the post-independent period, of course. The Airport Authority of India is responsible for providing safe, efficient air traffic, aeronautical communication service in Indian airspace. The authority manages 125 airports. So Pawan Hans helicopter services, basically it's operating in hilly areas and widely used for tourism in northeast sectors. Addition, Pawan Hans Limited mainly provides helicopter services, petroleum and all, not so important. Now moving to another mode of transportation, that is oil and gas pipeline. So pipeline are the most convenient and efficient mode of transporting liquid and gases over long distance. You know this thing. Even solid can also be transported after converting them into slurry. Slurry is like the more of liquid one. Okay, so Oil India Limited, we know this thing, under Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, has engaged in exploration, production and transportation of crude oil and natural gas. It was incorporated in 1959 as a company. Asia's first cross-country pipeline covering a distance of 1157 km was constructed by OIL, that is Oil India Limited, from Naharkatia oil field in Assam to Baruni in Bihar. Okay, it was further extended up to Kanpur in 1966. Okay, so Assam, Baruni, then Kanpur. GAIL India Limited was set up in 1984, much later, as a public sector undertaking to transport, process and market this thing. The first 1700 long Hazira Vijapur Jagdishpur HVJ cross country gas pipeline, Hazira Vijaypur Jagdishpur pipeline, was constructed by GAIL, linked Mumbai and high basin gas fields for various fertilizers and all. This SART-free provides impetus to Indian gas market development. Overall, India's gas infrastructure has expanded over this and so on and so forth. Okay, communication, every one of you know this thing. We'll move directly to this means of communication, that is personal and mass. Personal was of more of our time, letters, telephone, telegrams, fax, email, internet, etc. Masses are radio, television, cinema. Basically, masses is the one mode of communication is transporting to masses, and personal is more like I am talking to you on phone, I'm writing a mail to you, I'm writing, just a second. I'm writing a mail to, I think the camera is clear, better clear now. Yeah. So, okay, let's read it. Human beings have evolved different methods of communication over time. I'm reading it because I know if I skip, you are also going to skip. In earlier time, this was not that important, but okay, we can read it. Message was delivered by beating drums and all. Horses, camels, dogs, birds were used. So invention of this, development in the field of science and technology has significantly contributed. Communication, every one of you know this thing. So personal communication system, you can read it like emails and all. Personal communication, internet, yes, the 5G, 6G services. It enables the user to establish direct contact, etc. So when we talk about mass communication, basically radio. So let's just a brief history of it. In 1923 by Radio Club of Bombay. Since then it gained immense popularity, and then this mode of communication was took by government in 1930, Indian Broadcasting System, and then it was changed to All India Radio in 1936 and Akashvani in 1957 after independence, 10 years of independence. Okay, Then television, again television emerged as the most effective audiovisual medium by disseminating information, education. Initially, TV services were limited to national capital like Delhi and all. 1959, after 1972, it became more operational. 1976, TV was de-linked from All India Radio, and got separate identity as Doordarshan, DD1 and DD2. I used to watch it in my childhood. Okay, after NCERT 1A, national television DD1 became operational. Common national programs were started for entire service and all that. Okay, I think you all know this. Satellite you can read. Let's come directly to this Indian National Satellite System and Indian Remote Sensing Satellite System. I think after this Chandrayaan and all this thing, every one of you must have watched and this thing in detail in the Hindu lecture of Vysh sir. So I hopefully think you have read it over there. Okay, I think so. You have read it there, 100%, without any missing. You have read it there. All right. So INSET was established in 1983 as a multi-purpose satellite system for telecommunication. IRS satellite system, you know, that polar and the circular thing. If no, then kindly comment. Then we'll find some solution for you. But yes, we have that on our PDFs and we have that are in batches. We are teaching that thing completely in our batches. Yes. Okay. IRS 1A in 1988 from Baikonur in Russia. India has also developed her own launching vehicle PSLV. Okay, the National Remote Sensing Center at Hyderabad provides facility for acquisition, etc., etc. So this was end of chapter number 7. Why I kept it over here was for a reason, because yes, this chapter holds some importance. Okay, so got it, the means of communication, land, road, air and all those things, you got it. I have kept chapter number 8 again, not to waste much of your time. So without wasting your time, we'll just cover the things. This chapter is more of understanding. The facts over here, do not mug up. Do not read those facts. Just update those facts. Update those facts with the economic survey, the latest one. Okay. And yes, update them with the latest economic survey. Do not forget to update that thing. All right. You have to update it, and the facts, I am just giving you the overview how you have to approach the things. Chapter 8 is more about that, because we are talking about international trade, so you need to understand what basically international trade is, what exports means, what import means, what we are basically exporting, what were our trends, what we are basically what is the gap of between export, how we became export dependent country to an import oriented country. So lot many things like that. Okay, economic survey, this book is more about 1617, but updated with this one. Okay, the recent one. So Indian foreign trade, just see this thing. This is our trade balance. What is trade balance? Import minus export minus imports. Like, are we in some positive or not? See, we are importing more, so the trade balance was negative. We were importing more, again the trade balance was more. So till 2017 the number has increased, but this gap has also increased. Okay, so let's see what we are basically exporting. Just focus on export. When we talk about agriculture and allied, so this trend has almost be like same. Ore and minerals, manufactured goods, crude and petroleum. So when you see the economic survey, how you have to approach towards reading the economic survey is the last 3 economic years will be given. So just see the trend. Do not keep on mugging, okay, 8%, 9%. No. Just see the trend. Like, it has reached from, for example, from 8% to 9%. And from 9%, it has only moved to 9.2. So just see the difference. Like earlier, it was almost like 10 or 11%, and now it's like 1 or 2%. So you just see the trend like this. Try to analyze, because that will be the only way you'll be able to remember the things. So let's just see. The composition of commodities in Indian international trade had been undergoing a change over years, that we have seen. Like, they are talking about this commodities, composition of commodities. Okay, do not miss this chapter. If any one of you think we are over smart enough, I'm sorry to use the bold words, but if you think you are over smart enough, many of us, we have also been through the same phase. Many of us just ignore the lectures. We just don't watch them. We just miss the economic survey. But many of the questions directly, you have to make the understanding of things. And basically, you are going to take those seats. So take it as your moral duty to understand the things. Okay. Okay. ठीक है. The share of agriculture and allied products have declined, whereas the share of petroleum and crude products and other commodities has increased. Got it? That comes from analysis. The shares of ore and all this have largely remained constant. This all things please update it from your economic survey. Yes, I'm just telling you the approach, like in this manner. Only read this much. Just keep on updating. Many of you ask what you have to read. Like economic survey is going to explain everything. But to keep a focus, to grab the things and write it in your answer sheet, just take it from this form. Okay? By this way, in a crux manner you can write. Okay, the decline in traditional item is largely due to tough international competition. It has already faced. So manufacturing sector accounted for this not important. Engineering goods have shown a significant. China and other east countries have major competitors. The gems and jewelry can contribute large of Indian foreign trade. Okay, and changing pattern, again we know this thing that India faced serious food shortage during 1950-1960. There's a reason why I have capped chapter number 8 with the second part of chapter number 7. Is just I just quickly want to make it to every one of you, just to make you understand the quick overview of how you are going to approach to your economic survey thing. Okay. The major item of imports at the time were food grains, capital goods, machinery and equipments, because we were moving from primary to, we were moving more towards the manufacturing sector. We were more moving towards building and the capital building kind of thing. Okay, the balance payment was adverse as imports were more than export in spite of all the efforts of import substitution. After 1970, food grains import were discontinued due to success of Green Revolution, but the energy crisis of 1973 pushed the prices of petroleum and import budget was also pushed up. Food grain imports were replaced by fertilizers and petroleum. Machine and equipment, special steel, edible oil and chemical largely make up the. Examine the changing pattern of this. So this is the way you can examine the changing pattern, like in your economic survey. These things, many of you complain we find it tough to read economic survey, but once you start reading, you feel like you are so aware of things, you are so aware of trends. Yeah, the newspaper reading will become so easy for you. Okay, so read it by that thought. Okay, so these are commodity group. Just analyze them. Like in 2019 it was this, 10, 15, 16 and 16, 17. So last 2 years, even if you remember, that will be enough. Then the direction of trade, how we are, like where we are more, where we are exporting or importing more. That is, there it means India has the trade relations of India. The trade relation with most of the countries and major trading blocks of the world. India aims to double its share in the international trade within the next 5 years, which we have already done. It already started adopting suitable measures. What are the suitable measures to double the imports? Like liberalization, reduction in import duties, de-licensing, change from process to product, patent. Most of the Indian foreign trade is carried through sea and air routes. However, a small portion is also carried through land routes to neighboring countries like Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh and Pakistan. Okay, now let's see seaports as gateway to international. India is surrounded by sea. We know this thing from all the 3 stars. And we are like blessed with the bestowed with the long coastline. Okay, water provides a smooth surface for a very cheap transport provided there is no turbulence. Okay, India has a long tradition of seafaring. Yes, developed many ports. Now we are going to read about those ports. Which are those ports? An interesting fact about the ports in India, like sector. Chapter number 7 and 8 is more about transportation. You'll read more about the transportation thing in this. Economic survey, yes, you are getting the knowledge of economic survey, but you'll read more about the transportation thing, more about it, okay? Here we are going to read the ports. See, direction of Indian trade, we were more towards Europe, Asia, we were like more into Asia. So same reports you are going to get in your economic survey. Got it? See what happens when you divide and read the things? Just a second. I was like, admit it. Okay. See. Yeah. What happened? What I was telling, that once you guys divide economic survey into sections, once you focus more on a small part, that thing becomes more easy. Yes, that thing literally becomes more easy for every one of you. So kindly, if you're dividing it over here, just try to complete the things over here only. See, we are going to read directly about ports only. India has 12 major ports and 200 minor. I think these are 14 now. In case of major ports, the central government decides the policies and all. The minor ports, the states handle those things. Okay. And some of the Indian ports along with the hinterlands are as follows. First, Kandla port. So where it is, the Gujarat section, Gulf of Kutch has been developed as a major port to cater this thing, and this was basically more to reduce this burden on Mumbai port. Okay, the port is specially designed to receive large quantity of petroleum and petroleum products and fertilizers. The offshore terminus at Vadinar has developed to reduce the pressure on Kandla port. Okay, Mumbai is a natural harbour. We know this thing. The biggest port of the country. The port is situated closer to the general route from countries of Middle East, Mediterranean Seas, North Africa, North America and Europe, where the major share of countries is this. The port is 20 km long and 610 km wide with 54 berths and has the country's largest oil terminal. MP, Maharashtra, Gujarat, UP and parts of Rajasthan constitute the main hinterlands of Mumbai port. Next comes is Jawaharlal Nehru Port at Nahava Sheva was developed as satellite port to relieve the pressure at Mumbai port. It is largest container port in India. It is largest container port in India. Okay, Jawaharlal Nehru Port at Nehava Sheva was developed as a satellite port to relieve the pressure at Mumbai port. At Nehava Sheva was developed as satellite port to relieve the pressure at Mumbai port. Jawaharlal Nehru Port at Nehava Sheva was developed as a satellite port to... Just a second, I forgot something I was to tell you. I'm sorry. Kandla Port, Mumbai Port. I just missed it. I started thinking something. I'm sorry. Okay, Jawaharlal Nehru Port at Nahava Sheva was developed as a satellite port to relieve the pressure on Mumbai Port. Okay, and then is Marmegao, again Goa. Okay, Juari Estuaries. It is gained significance after its remodeling in 1961 to handle iron ore exports to Japan. Construction of Konkan Railway has considerably extended to hinterlands of this. Karnataka, Goa and southern Maharashtra constituted hinterland. Now is New Mangalore Port is located in the state of Karnataka and caters the needs of export of iron ore and oil concentrates. It also handles fertilizers, edible oils, coffee, tea, wood, yarn and all this. Karnataka is the major hinterland of this port. Kochi Port situated at the head of Vembanad Canal, popularly known as Queen of Arabian Sea. Which one? This. Okay. Kochi Port situated at the head of Vembanad Canal, popularly known as Queen of, is also a natural harbour. The port also has an adventurous location being close to... what you do is, instead of reading it like this, just go and draw a map. Just see in your atlas, just go and locate the ports over there and that becomes so easy. You'll get it directly. See, the Mumbai port, Marmegao port, Mangalore. Basically what is done is, most of the things were developed because this was the only port earlier. So just to reduce, the largest one also, to reduce the pressure on this Mumbai port, this Kandla, Marmegao, these were built, okay, and those Chotu Motu were built. Haldia port again, Kolkata. Paradip is situated, port is situated in the Mahanadi Delta. We know this, Cuttack, whatever you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. Many of the student from South India must be there. Vishakhapatnam port of Andhra Pradesh, yes. Landlocked harbour connected to the sea by the channel cut off at the harbour developed all these things. And then comes the Chennai port. Chennai is the one of the oldest port in the eastern coast. Artificial harbour built in 1859 is not much suitable for large ship because of its shallow water. If something is even located on the eastern coast, you know the physiography, that the physiography is not suitable there. So there you won't be finding the large ports. Okay, and of course the airports, 25 major airports, but this was till like 2016. Almost every states have the airports. Okay, so you need not to read much about airports, you know the very well. But to write an answer about it, you need to know the statements. You cannot draw, like, it plays an important role. You know, lease time, carriage and all that. It is very costly and unsuitable for carrying heavy and bulky commodities. Okay, ultimately, basically to reduce the time it is being done. There are 25 major airports functioning in the country. Ahmedabad, Bangalore and all this. You can solve the chapter on transport to find out maintain feature. See why I have linked these two chapters. because it has already told like go and study the chapter number 7 to link chapter number 8. Okay, so just take the notes of these maps also. We have completed 8 chapters, and 8 chapter is not that important, but the some part of it is important, which I have told. So the takeaway from the chapter number 8 will be like you will be reading about economic survey well, and other than that you will be reading about ports. Other than that you will be reading about airports, like just keep an idea of it. And national waterway, yes, chapter number 7. So not much to take away from chapter number 8. That's why I have not made a special video on chapter number 8, but I have completed it, so no one is going to complain is that chapter number 8 is not completed. It is completed. The part of it which was required is being completed almost. I have even not missed a part of it. I have kept that thing, but you have to update it with the economic survey. You can actually write these facts as well, but you have to support this fact that these facts are from 2016-17 economic survey. Alright, no one is going to complain that we read this, we read that, but you have to update these facts with the recent economic survey thing. We are done with the NCERT chapter, we have done with class 12 NCERT, only one chapter is left. Almost by tomorrow, day after tomorrow, we are going to complete it. Alright, so just take care of yourself very well, everyone. The 8 chapters have been completed, and I hope at least you guys are studying and showing up all your interest. Again, the batches will close soon. Do not miss the chance. Where I don't know will be giving the installment in future or not, because we already have abundance of serious aspirants. So at times when we want to control on the things, we can actually stop the installment system. So that installment system will be available for now. So if you want to enroll, just enroll it right now without wasting your most precious time at this point of time. Time is the most important. Do not waste it on the useless things. So yes, just be happy, be kind to everyone, enjoy the process. This is just a part of your life. I always keep saying this in my lectures. So kindly take care of yourself and just keep studying. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Also spread this word with your friends, and just go and watch the lectures of Vysh as well. He is doing wonderful things, and the PDF sections, whosoever is enrolled for it. And all the good luck to our batches student. Vysh is going to take good care of your in every part, like studies. He is doing tremendous job. So kindly just spread the word, enroll to the facilities and the batches which have been provided to you people. So yes, take care, goodbye, and yeah, see you soon. Bye bye.